Stuart from Mr. Teeter's Primary History here with the first of a new short video series where I will be breaking down the complex concept of chronology into a number of composite parts that, if you teach them all through school, will add up to a really effective understanding of what chronology is and what it tells us. Today we are going to be looking at the first of these concepts, and this is one that will run throughout, and it is sequencing. Sequencing is probably something you're very familiar with in terms of chronology, but I will load a quick PowerPoint and then we will. Sequencing. In its raw form, it's arranging something in a specific order, and as a concept, it's something the children will be used to in other subject disciplines such as maths. In chronology, it's chronological order, so we place things in the order of time that they happened. The way in which this looks will vary throughout school, so what I'll do is show you an example of a timeline which demonstrates sequencing for early years, Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2. Here we go with early years. Now, just a quick caveat before I start. We would absolutely be using pictorial representations for early years, but to keep things simple, efficient, and to avoid any copyright issues, I will just use text boxes to represent the pictures. Here is an early years sequence. It's the sequence of that child's life, going from being a newborn baby through to reception, where the children would currently be. This ties in with the idea of now and past, which is an ELG, and the children can say, I am in nursery, so that is now. Everything before that is the past. This is a simple representation of time progressing and time being a linear concept. Here's a slightly more sophisticated example for Key Stage 1. This is the internal narrative of Amelia Earhart's life. You'll notice that this time it has a scale on it. More on scaling in the next episode. What I'm doing is I'm just adding on references that I will use as part of my teaching sequence that relate to her lifetime. Hopefully what stands out that there is more to this than just a sequence, but the sequential order does still remain a priority until children understand it in this particular context. You might notice that childhood is represented as a bar. That's because it's a duration of time, whereas the arrows are a singular point. More on that in video 3. In Key Stage 2, it becomes more complex once again. What you'll notice going from Key Stage 1 into 2 is that it has a scale, but that scale is different. It is a precisely numbered scale. I've also broken it into British and world history. The reason for that is children will be studying aspects of history that fall in one of those two categories. Let's take a look at the sequencing. The Stone Age to Iron Age, a very commonly taught first topic in Year 3. That's the start of the sequence. It's the start of the narrative of British history. Then you'll notice we've got the Roman period appearing. That's the next period. So we are sequencing Stone Age, Bronze Age, Iron Age, or we may add complexity by going Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, Bronze Age, Iron Age, Roman. In this example, you'll notice the two overlap. That's because Julius Caesar had two failed invasions in 55 and 54 BC. So it represents that we had that initial contact even before the successful invasion. Then we've got the next period of British history that we teach. I've abbreviated it to ASJ for Angles, Saxons and Jutes. So as you can see, there is a lot more to chronology than just sequencing. I haven't mentioned world history because we're focusing on the narrative of British history, that initial sequence. Quick summary. Number 1, sequencing is evident throughout primary history. It is the start point that subsequent concepts will build on, and I mentioned a few of them and they'll be featured in subsequent videos. Complexity is added in Key Stage 2 when we need to consider BC or BCE and AD or CE. Progression is linked to having more knowledge to draw upon and the complexity of the sequences. So there we go, video number 1 complete. All about sequencing. Probably looked and thought, yeah, I definitely do that as part of my teaching sequence. And to be fair, lots of teachers will. But please remember how that complexity is being added. In Key Stage 2, we've got full periods of history. They are showing the overall narrative, that enormous sequence. We will also be considering individual narratives within those periods that we teach. For example, the narrative of Boudica's revolt, as well as many others. But there we go. You will have heard me make reference to things like duration. They will all follow in subsequent videos, and I'm hoping to get these up with about a week in between them. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully it's been useful. Please do leave some comments and feedback down below, and I will see you next time for the next video, which is all about scales. Thanks very much. See you later.